Right, Danielle, I like the attention device that you had. It's a pretty good example that brings us into the subject. You've got a good, clear statement of what your goal is going to be. Let me see. I think you need to be a little bit more thorough in discussion of what it is that the restrictions are in the various states on single-parent adoptions. And especially in developing a need, I think you do a good job in developing a need from the potential parents or the potential adoptive parents' point of view, but it's not as well developed from the point of view of the kids. For example, if you could show that there were large numbers of kids that would be able to be adopted and are not being able to because of this restriction, I think that that would be a more compelling argument. As much as I might feel empathy for a single parent who wants to have a child, the bigger issue I think for most people is the welfare of the kids, and they want to make sure that the kids are taken care of and given the best chance of a good life that they can get. And I think that you come up with a pretty good explanation about why you think that's likely to happen. I think you need a little bit more data on that particular point. For instance, there are restrictions that you suggest. I don't know if they're legal limitations or if it's just kind of attitudinal issues that prevent single parents from having easy access to adoption. You kind of say, you know, kids of single parents, we've got lots of them and they're just as successful as other kids. I know that that's one of the big arguments about it because that's not the case. There are so many, you mentioned the statistics, for instance, like 50% of one group and 37% of another group are living in single-parent families, and statistically there are all kinds of problems with single-parent families. Not that a parent is a bad parent, but for example, I always put it this way when we had kids, you shouldn't have more kids than you have hands. You know, that kind of thing. And it's always helpful to have somebody else there, and that makes a difference sometimes. You know, and the drug issues and getting through school and all that kind of stuff becomes an issue. And I think you just need a stronger argument on that. You've got a couple of good hypothetical examples on this, but if you could show, for instance, that the likelihood of success is just as high, or for instance higher, because let's face it, the absence of any parents, I think, is a bigger problem. You know, what's the chance of your success in a foster care system or in some institution in comparison to having a parent? And I think that's the comparison that would make the bigger argument. You did a good job, like I said, on the justification of the need argument from the single parent's point of view. I just think you need a little bit more on the kid's point of view. All right, thank you.